Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. My name is Sarah. I am a 30-year-old knitter that lives in New Jersey. I work in New York normally as an accountant, but I am currently on a 6-week rotation in India. I'm currently in Delhi. I'm in week 5 of 6, so I have 1 week left of work and then be traveling for a week or so, and then I will be home to regularly scheduled cozy Christmas knitting, fall knitting, all that good stuff. But if you're new here, that's my spiel. This is my podcast where I can talk to all of you about what I've been making on recently, because everyone in my life is sick of listening to me yarn on? No, that's not right. Yap on about knitting, because no one else knits. So this is my outlet to just get it all out of my head and out to someone else. So thank you so much for being here. If you would like to keep watching, feel free to subscribe, like the video, all of that good stuff, and any projects, yarn shops, anything like that will be linked down below in the description, as well as my Ravelry and Instagram. So let's get started. I hope you have something warm and cozy if it's cool and autumnal where you are, or something refreshing if it's hot like here. It's currently 88 degrees or so, which is about, I think, 29 degrees Celsius if my quick math is correct, but it's very nice. We do have air pollution of about 300 out of 500 plus, so it has improved slightly since Diwali, but it's still very hazy outside. So I'm filming this for you Sunday. I'm going to be going out shopping in a little bit. Do I need anything? No, but will I be shopping? Yep. So I figured I would update you on the last couple weeks of knitting I've done, projects I've worked on, how far I've made progress-wise on those. So we will get started. I don't have any finished objects today. I could have had a finished object, but the airport security in Bangalore did not love my double-pointed needles, so they confiscated them. And I could not finish the toe on my witchy socks that I showed last episode, that are the pink and black socks that I have from a homespun house. So I have one sock that's finished and one sock that needs a toe that will get a toe when I am home with my full set of needles. But because I always need a sock on the needles, I did cast on a new sock, because apparently 9-inch circulars, perfectly okay. Double points, not okay. I don't quite know how that works, but it is what it is. So I am knitting my dad a pair of socks. I'm knitting him the Rye socks by Tin Can Knits, which is the fingering weight pattern, I believe. And I cast this on last week, on Monday, just gone, so 6 days ago. And this is where we're at so far. So I have a cuff that's about 20 rounds of 1x1 ribbing. I don't know if that's what the pattern calls for or not. I just felt like doing 1x1. Because my dad has bigger calves, I wanted to try out casting on 68 stitches and then decreasing 4 the first round. So that's what I did for these socks. We'll see how he likes them, just so it's not as tight getting over his ankle and stuff, and also his calves. And then I've started the Rye pattern on the front of the leg. And for this I am using, like I said, 9-inch circulars. As always, I use 2.0 millimeter needles. I typically use 9-inch circulars or double points. I'm not a fan of magic loop, really. I will use it if I have to, but it's not my preferred. And I think I said 64 stitches. And the yarn I'm using is actually yarn that my dad picked out. So the contrast is, they're both Swanky Sock by Magpie Fibers. The contrast is Midnight Train to Georgia, and then the main is London Rain or London Fog, London something. So I'll show you the back so you can see the actual speckling. It's a really subtle teal, ochre, and brown speckling, I'd say, on the London Rain. Here's it in the cake. So you can see it's pretty subtle. It's very, very neutral. I think it's a good boy color. So I've been knitting these. I probably will do about 50 rounds or so for the leg, just so it's a decent size for him for boots and things like that this winter, and then do his foot as normal. I have not decided what heel I'm going to do. I think so far majority of his socks are heel flap and gusset, so I may do something different just to switch it up for him so he can see what he does and doesn't like. But these are my rice socks, and this is the first time I've knit this pattern, actually. I think from memory this is the first time I've knit it, so I've been enjoying it. It's nice. It's a nice change of pace to have the few garter rounds in the sock. So that is my sock that's currently on the needles, and then I just have 2 other projects. The first I will talk about is Shiv's sweater, which is the sweater that I am making from scratch for him. So this is the front. I'm knitting it out of tin merino wool and I believe baby wool lanette. The colors and everything will be in the description, linked to my Ravelry page, but the tin merino wool is in the color 2321, which is either almond or marzipan. And then the blue is in, I think it's medium blue. But this is how we're looking. So I showed this last week, so I won't go into too much depth because not much has changed from last week. I did mark my armpit. So last week I was a whopping 2 rounds into the arm, or to the body. So I've made a couple inches of progress, maybe 2.5 inches of progress. I'm knitting this on 3, oh, and I've lost stitches, classic. I am knitting this on, yes, 3mm needles. I did do a few rounds of short rows in the back at the top of the neck, and I think I will do a couple more towards the bottom as well, just to lift it up a little bit more, slash down. And yeah, this is, I just used kind of a sweater that Shiv saw online that he wanted as a guide for color work. It was like a Shein printed sweater. So I made a chart, I extended the chart so it was a bit longer. The initial chart, just because it's printed so it doesn't need to be 1-for-1 stitch wise, was maybe this wide. So I lengthened it so it went down further on the shoulder. And the goal is for this to be about 40 inches in circumference when it's finished, which I'm hoping it will be. I tried it on as I was going on the yoke. I haven't tried it on since I separated for sleeves, and I probably should, just to make sure we're still on track. I may do that after this after this video, just to make sure it's still fitting okay in terms of circumference, but I'm hoping it's fine. And I don't know if there's anything else to say on it. I'm hoping to get it done before Thanksgiving if I can, which feels both doable and not doable at the same time. There is also, I am having some like tension problems. I don't know if they'll show up on camera in the body, which I'm hoping and assuming they're gonna block out, but I think it's just because I've been picking it up and putting it down so much that it's just been different tensions here and there. So, and I think just being a cream yarn in general, I think it just shows tension issues a bit more. So hopefully it blocks out. I'm sure it will block out. It definitely will relax a little bit, but hopefully it's not too bad when it's all said and done. So that is that. And then my final project, which I have not shown yet, I did newly cast on, is the Waffle Loops cardigan by Other Loops. And I'm knitting this out of Explorer Knits and Fiber in the color Celtic Harp from the Ireland collection that Allie did a couple years ago now. I've had this yarn for ages, but these are the 2 colors I'm using, or skeins I'm using. So they're both in Celtic Harp. This is the Cashmere Cavern sock base and then Surrey base. So together. Obviously you can see there's a difference between the dyes, just the way that the yarn composition takes the dye. So between these two, we're getting this, which is just a little bit lighter than the cashmere. I'm knitting the size medium. Did I do a gauge swatch? No, but that's okay. Using this recommended needles in the pattern. And I'm gonna be fuzzy after this. I didn't think this through. What else? Yeah, so I am in the body now. I've gotten a couple rounds through past sleeve combination, joining after the sleeves. So it has, I don't know, I guess it's technically a drop shoulder, but there's this really nice ribbing detail across the back of the cardigan, which you start with, and then it follows the armhole all the way down, and then it's going to continue down through the length of the sweater, and it has this really fun waffle pattern on it. I have found it both easy to remember, and sometimes I find myself like forgetting what I'm doing, because it's just the nature of the ribbing of it. I think I'm just not getting into the sequencing occasionally. If I put it up, pick it up and put it down again. But overall, it's been going pretty quickly. I cast this on right after I filmed the last episode, I think, or maybe a week after, in the mid-teens of October. So this is about a week and a half, 2 weeks of progress. So I'm not mad about it. I think it's going to be it's obviously a really good autumnal color. So I'm hoping to have it done also for Thanksgiving so that I can wear it maybe at Thanksgiving. We shall see. So, and it is, I don't know if you can tell, I'm sure you'll be able to tell from the picture, but it is a crew neck cardigan, which I've not made. Every cardigan I've made so far has been a V-neck cardigan, so I'm excited to have a crew neck for once, and I'm loving how it's turning out. It's so fuzzy and soft. I think this is the first time I've made an Explorer Knits sweater that was Surrey and sock, or Surrey and a fingering, so it's been a really nice change. And because I have this one, I don't have anything fuzzy, so it's been a good, got a stockinette, a sock, and then a textured pattern. So I'm liking where everything's at. So far so good. But that is all I have to update you with today. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying their knitting, enjoying their cozy time if you're in the northern hemisphere and in India. And I need to start thinking about my Christmas sweater if I want to make one this year. So if anyone has anything that they're thinking for a Christmas sweater, or like a winter-esque wintertime sweater, not necessarily like in your face Christmas like I did last year, please send them my way, because I'm itching to buy some new yarn because I haven't bought yarn in a long while. So I probably should use some of my stash, but I'm itching to make a sweater for myself that's Christmas-y. It doesn't need to be full on Christmas, but I would love something that's Christmas adjacent. And I finally have gotten into, like, my TikTok algorithm has finally brought me to Knit Talk, which has been great. So I've been seeing everyone on TikTok with their Christmas sweater plans. So now I'm like, ooh, do I want to make a Christmas sweater? But also, am I going to have time to make a Christmas sweater? Because I have a couple advent calendars coming. I definitely have a sock advent from, I assume, Cozy Knitter. I don't think I got a Freckled Whimsy one this year. I got at least one, either Cozy Knitter or Freckled Whimsy sock advent. So I have a few things to get done not need to get done, but have a few things to knit on in December. So I don't know if a Christmas sweater is the best life choice, but maybe we'll see how far we get with this and play it by ear from there. But I hope you're well, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.